everybody, it's Lisa here, and today's video I want to talk about the intuitive eating and maybe give you some mindset shifts I have made in order to now be an intuitive eater. And I overcame my eating disorders, bulimia and orthorexia, and during the holidays, definitely the holiday eating brought up a lot of fear for me. And I'm sure for many of you who are still recovering, it will do the same thing as well, like a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety around food and eating, and maybe you are afraid of the overeating or binge eating. But how to have like the normal eating, I think the mindset shifts I have made are the key to be the intuitive eater. So I want to share those mindset shifts with you as well in this video. So the first mindset shift was to ditch the diet mentality, and many people don't realize that yes, you can diet when you are just physically restricting calories and avoiding some foods or just restricting some foods, but actually you can also diet just mentally. For example, during your holiday dinner, Christmas dinner, you maybe allow yourself to eat whatever you want, and all the foods are technically available for you. Technically, you're not restricting anything in this moment, but somewhere deep inside in your like subconscious level, you know that this won't last forever, and maybe tomorrow or from the 1st of January, you need to go on a diet or just low-key start to restrict again. Either maybe you have the mindset of like, I need to become more healthier, or just I need to have some boundaries with food, or you just need to eat in a more balanced way or whatever. Like all of this mindset can be like low-key diet mindset, so make sure you don't have any of that. And another key mindset is to give yourself the unconditional permission to eat, and I have done video about this as well. I will link it here somewhere. So giving yourself the unconditional permission to eat is really what will come after ditching the diet mindset, because you can't give yourself unconditional permission to eat when you still have the diet mindset. And this means eating freely whatever you want without any good or bad foods mindset. No shoulds or I must eat this, no form of like calorie compensation later. Like the unconditional means unconditional. It doesn't matter what is your weight, it doesn't matter like what you eat, how much you eat, it's all allowed. You have the full permission to eat now and for the rest of your life. And really what helped me to kind of assure to myself this even more was to constantly like remind myself, either to my body or just reprogram my subconscious. And I told myself all the time that, Elisa, like you can eat now whatever you want, and you can do it for the rest of your life. The food is gonna be there always. The food is never going anywhere, and I have the unconditional permission to eat for the rest of my life. Yeah, because sometimes I noticed that when I was eating maybe physically, then still on the subconscious I had this fear that like how long will this last. So that's why I always try to remind myself to reprogram my brain that yes, food is now always available. Food is there in an hour later, next day, a week later, for the rest of my life basically. And this really helped me to reassure myself and my body that I never have to feel deprived, because as long as there is some form of like that mindset, or like I still don't trust that food is always there, then it will signal your body that deprivation, and the deprivation, any signal of deprivation or low-key restriction will keep your eating behaviors out of control. And the last mindset, kind of the intuitive eating mindset during the holidays, is actually that the food is not the most important thing in the world. And I totally understand why people who are in recovery, like, they will focus on the food, and food is very important to them because their body has been deprived and restricted for all those years. And it was the same for me as well. But actually, the more you teach the diet mindset and give yourself the unconditional permission to eat, actually the more food will lose its power over you, and you will lose the food focus to a point when food is just food. And it's not like the food is not like a moral issue. The food is not your personality anymore. Yeah, it loses all power over you, and you don't associate food anymore with like being either good or bad. You don't associate food as like feeling guilty. You don't associate food as calories or becoming fat or gaining weight or whatever. So actually then you can start focusing during the holidays more to the people, to the conversations, to feeling grateful, to the family and the nice time of the year. And really, like, food is not as important to you anymore. Food is definitely there, so we need to eat it in order to nourish our body, like physically, but also mentally. We can enjoy it and we can celebrate food, but at the same time, one shouldn't be entirely focused on food. And I think it can be like an unhealthy obsession if all we do is think about food all day. So if you're worried about the holiday eating, then don't be. It's only the eatings of the fear. In fact, there is nothing to be afraid of. The anxiety, fear, the feeling guilty is just an irrational fear. And actually, you need to give yourself the full permission to eat. You can eat whatever you want, whenever you want, however much you want during the holidays, and fully enjoy the food, and know that food is gonna be there always for the rest of your life, with no restriction, no rules, no shoulds, no buts, nothing. So give yourself the gift this Christmas and allow yourself to like eat fully, physically and mentally. So yeah, I really hope you like this video. If you don't know how to start your eating disorder recovery journey, then I recommend you to take my free video course. And also I have wrote a recovery book about how to start the recovery. And if you have many questions about the recovery, I also have a free ebook on my website, all the most common recovery questions answered. Also I have a Tumblr page, so many hundreds of questions answered there, so check it out. And yeah, and I wish you happy holidays, and I will see you next week. Bye.